What you got for me, nerdrotic? Sounds like Hollywood's having problems. Woo! Let's check this out here.
Hi, you guys. Hi, Avengers.
Hey, Scarlo.
As a celebrity, I know all about stuff.
I think Kamala Harris needs a catchphrase.
Like science and politics.
She already does. She's middle class. She was a prosecutor.
Really respect you. They laugh at you behind your back. They think you're stupid.
So trust me when I tell you who you should vote for.
Kamala Harris will protect your right to disagree with her.
If you don't vote the right way, it's like a hate crime.
Wait, but wasn't she talking about some censorship earlier in the year? Wasn't she talking about censoring people? I could be wrong, but I could have swore I saw her talking about that.
It makes me sad and angry, and I'll leave the country. You don't want that.
nerdrotic.com.
Greetings, you over 1 million.
What's happening, man?
And the 40% who haven't subscribed yet. Listen, do you smell something? That's the breaking winds of change in Hollywood. And as Tinseltown looks down at the fiery but mostly peaceful disaster of their own making, I'm reminded it's been 4 years since Hollywood's first shutdown, where in truth they were deemed essential over millions of their fellow Californians and allowed to work. And they used that time to make a lot of bad films and streaming content, root on the riots from the comfort of their $6 million mansion, saying things at time to make a list of their fellow Californians
Inside Hollywood's expensive and exhausting road to making movies during Corona.
and allowed to work. And they used that time to make a lot of bad films and streaming content, root on the riots from the comfort of their $6 million mansion, saying things like enough white comfort and no Jar Jar Abrams. I'm not going to let that one go. They complained about a president who wasn't in office for 4 years. The entire industry became the mouthpiece of Pfizer, shaming people over the jab and generally alienating half the country.
Screw your freedom.
And it all might have worked out for him. Unfortunately,
Screw your freedom. Get the shot. Do it now. Come on. Take it. Hey, yo, when he did that, when I saw it, see, I'm not like hyper patriotic. You know what I'm saying? Like I keep a pretty level head about the country that I live in. It has things that are great about it. It truly does. All right, Don. And I also know that it has its travesties, its negatives about it. And I knew that when he said that, everyone super patriotic was going to unload on him. And that they did. If you don't know, look up a compilation of what people had to say to Arnold after he said that.
all of those non-essential people are the ones who actually buy tickets. Then, sometime later, they decided to follow that up with a strike, shutting down their industry for the second time in 4 years. I seem to recall a precious few people within your industry and a hell of a lot of people outside it, including some guys and gals recording videos in their spare bedrooms, warning you that this might not be a good idea. And now that we're a year past the end of the strike, it turns out it wasn't a good idea.
Who could have seen this coming?
Ultimately, it wasn't a smart move as a writer to go on strike asking for more money during the year of the flopbuster. Turns out it was ill-advised to vote to stop working after the streaming bubble burst. Turns out it was flat out stupid to go on strike after an entire industry broke its business model. Ticket sales in theaters are down 30 to 40%, and the core of your industry, the legacy Hollywood studios, are largely in debt. And while all this was going on, adult pretenders in Hollywood found new and unique ways to drive off the
Will Ferrell look crazy like that?
Me, a lot of us were saying just because Hollywood stops doesn't mean the world does, and the worst case scenario actually happened. That audience you've been alienating has become the competition. I also seem to recall a few of us saying that the strike you've been alienating has become...
YouTube is secretly Hollywood's biggest threat. They are on top right now. They are mainstream. They are the biggest platform that people watch entertainment on, period. They are the juggernaut. Red and everything. And steamrolled right over Hollywood. They did it. And me, Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker, and Endymion and Star Wars Theory, and Eric July, and just so many of us are successful creators on the mainstream. We have become the ultimate entertainers. Woo!
The competition. I also seem to recall a few of us stating that this strike would end up being a purge, leading to mergers, acquisitions, outsourcing, layoffs, and shrinkage. I was in the pool! And now we're in a timeline where I agree with John Campea.
The gravestone will say, "Here lies the movie-going industry, death by suicide." Because they're fucking killing themselves.
And John and I will vehemently disagree on what led up to Tinseltown's self-deletion. It doesn't change the fact that Hollywood is fleeing woke Hollywood in droves. And you don't have to take my word for it. These are Access Media headlines from just the last month. Why Los Angeles is becoming a production graveyard. LA production plunged 20%.
That was all us. We, all the fans, in the right mind. In the alternate universe, we were all a good Thanos. And that was us speaking to Hollywood. You should have gave us great entertainment. Whoa! No! Wow! What did you do? You just see their bank accounts evaporating. What'd you do?
In 2023, new film LA report finds why streaming content could be Hollywood's final act. Hollywood is dead, according to Justine Bateman. Here's what comes next. Bateman argues the emotional and financial scaffolding.
Hollywood, the fans have come for your souls. Rest in peace.
Necessary to support film business is gone. In its place, we have something of a conveyor belt churning out content. You know, Hollywood running to the guy who created the business environment that theirs is failing in is probably not the best strategy. Aside from the fact that it's going to be a tough sell even to the general populace of California, considering all their problems, to subsidize professional make-believe. The question is, what rules are these subsidies and tax credits going to come with? Well, that was already answered a year ago. From March 1st of last year, California's film tax credit aims to punish projects that don't hit diversity goals. And there it is, the underlying foundation of many of Hollywood's current problems, something the Access Media won't mention, but I will. Their slavish adherence to the message.
Hey, listen, I know Hollywood watches us. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. I watch YouTube all day. It's not just because I'm on it. I literally watch YouTube all day long. Okay? Not only am I a YouTuber, I'm also a client. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do. I watch it all day. My girl comes home, she cooks dinner, she does, then she's sitting down while we're watching YouTube. The only thing that we watch almost as much as YouTube is, you guessed it, Netflix. You guessed it, Netflix. Next would be maybe HBO Max, because we've been watching shows on there. But other than that, that's it.
Imposing written and unwritten rules on themselves in the name of diversity, which is truly just exclusion, and it's antithetical to all creativity. Turning an industry that used to produce some pretty good stuff that would occasionally entertain you and make you think into a platform for propaganda and content, particularly with pop culture and genre, permeated with people telling you what to think, although their attitude will be,
"We're not telling people what to think. We're just trying to show them how."
And now Hollywood finds themselves in a bit of a pickle after going through all that strife. They come out the other end on an election year. And the question I had earlier in the year was, would Hollywood sit this one out, considering all the overall damage to their brand? I was getting concerned that we wouldn't get a cringe-inducing adult pretender video. Better late than never.
Hi, you guys. Hi, Avengers.
Hey, Scarlett.
Jumping on the call.
Whoa. I think you mean assembling.
Yeah, how can we be of service?
Well, how about we start with what our voting plans are going to be, who we're going to bring to the polls with us, that sort of thing.
I think Kamala Harris needs a catchphrase.
Ooh, yes. Definitely a catchphrase.
How about this? I'm just off the top of my head. I can do this all day.
Shut
up.
I hate it. Okay.
How about I'm down with democracy? It's just plain and simple.
Okay, I like that.
It's hard to argue with
I didn't know
that.
that was
Kamala
for a
Harris
second.
down with democracy.
I don't know if that sounds the way we want it to sound, though.
I think we just need. Can we get some production though?
Jarvis?
My name's not Jarvis, but whatever.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I am down with democracy.
You know, nothing says reaching out and connecting with the common man like an adult pretender who is essentially a professional liar who reads and interprets other people's words for a living, coming down from their ivory towers to read and interpret a poorly written script to tell you how to vote in a badly edited Zoom video. I'd also like to point out that they went to the OG team. You don't see any new Avengers in that video. Where's Simu Liu? Where's Brie?
Where's Thor? Thor wasn't in there. Well, I know he's Australian, correct? But still. Yeah.
Larson. And prior to that, the Batman himself, Michael Keaton, came out with this banger.
You know, for some of you folks who, guys mostly, I guess, who are thinking about attending a rally with Musk and Trump, they don't really respect you. They laugh at you behind your back. They think...
Yeah, okay, buddy. Yeah, like I'm going to believe you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if anything, both sides are laughing at us. So you might as well go for the one that was still, your life was better when they was in term and president. That'd be Trump. There you go. We've already had 4 years of Harris and Biden. Nope. Time for a change again.
You're stupid. They don't want to hang out with you. They have nothing in common with you. They're not your bros. They have no respect for you. Trust
He's talking like he's that guy, though. You know what I mean? You don't get it? Like, I mean, yeah, I'm a multi-millionaire. I've been super famous forever. But let me tell you.
Let me get this straight. An adult pretender is telling us not to vote for somebody because they wouldn't hang out with us and they think we're stupid, coming from a guy who wouldn't give us the time of day and thinks we're stupid. And then there's Harrison Ford.
Get off my plane.
The truth is this. Kamala Harris will protect.
And the way De Niro goes off on Trump, I'm like, what in the hell? He reminds me of the dude from the Young Turks, the way he be snapping. I'm like, the way you snap, I think something's more wrong with you than wrong with Trump. Like, it's just like,
Care. And if you ever wonder what killed the movie star, well, thanks to social media, we got to know them. The latest example of that, you probably didn't know, a Tom Hanks film flopped this weekend. But this is balanced out by the very controversial statements from Zachary Levi calling for balance.
I don't think it's accurate
we definitely need balance to the fullest right now.
to say that somehow Hollywood is both a liberal and a conservative town. Back in the day, there might have been a bit more of a balance, you know, but you really have to be at a certain level of your career in order to get away with it. Number one, but number two, that was also back then. And I think naming just John Voight and Dennis Quaid, of the thousands of actors in Hollywood that you could only name two, I think actually speaks to that. And what that means is there's plenty, and by the way, they have sent me lots of messages, plenty of people in my industry, in Hollywood, that are terrified to publicly say that they would vote for Donald Trump or be conservative in any way. Mm-hmm. That's why you don't see them. That's why they're not very prevalent or prominent, because they know that there's ramifications for this kind of shit. Y'all, our industry is going to be fucking gonzo. Like, it already is. We're getting eroded. The pandemic and the strikes and all of these things, they've already eroded it so much. My cry to all of you out there, you closeted conservatives, closeted Trump voters, y'all, it's now or never. If what you're afraid of is somehow the backlash of an industry that's not going to exist very soon, don't let that hold you back.
Fully acknowledging Zachary Levi coming out and making this statement is far more ballsy than any of his comrades in Hollywood.
Damn right it's ballsy.
We have to remember that the celebrity endorsement is not going to stop. I find it far more disturbing that it would actually sway a vote. And I think the biggest takeaway is what he said towards the end. If you work in Hollywood, don't concern yourself with the backlash of an industry that's not going to exist. And again, this isn't just some hyperbole coming from YouTube or social media. This is coming from within the industry.
Yeah,
Sony Pictures Entertainment CEO Tony Vinciquerra warned that the deals made with major labor unions are suppressing domestic production. The contract terms are forcing productions out of the U.S. now. The air has come out of the content bubble, says Matthew Bellani, founder of entertainment industry title Puck News. Crisis is a good word. I try not to be alarmist, but crisis is what people are feeling. And many of us said that the hardest hit during the strikes would be the working class in Hollywood, and that's exactly what happened. The losers, Film LA noted, are rank-and-file industry workers, according to the 2024 Otis College Report on the creative economy. 27% of the nation's domestic film and TV workforce resides in Greater Los Angeles. Giving these workers heavy dependence on local filmmaking, reduced project output raises significant concerns. And I think this one almost sums it up. Other Hollywood vets lament that LA is simply no longer a film-friendly hub. I would argue that LA is no longer a human-friendly hub. It's not any one thing, it's death by 1,000 cuts. Speaking of that, let's get to my wheelhouse and talk about some genre entertainment, because that's where a lot of those cuts come from. Hollywood has already destroyed the money-printing machines that were Star Wars, Star Trek, and Doctor Who, just to name a few, and they're well on their way to doing it with the superhero film. Like I said, over the past month, we've gotten a litany of soul-searching or navel-gazing.
They balled them all up and threw them in the trash.
Articles about the destruction of Hollywood from the Access Media, and this is one of them. Superhero burnout. With most superhero movies flopping, can Marvel and DC's 2025 slate reverse the unprecedented box office drought?
And remember, Variety, it was never superhero burnout, superhero fatigue. It was woke fatigue. Exactly, because it's in everything. It's in everything. Talk to Veilguard right now. Is that what it is? Dragon Age, Veilguard. Talk to them right now. Talk to Concord. Okay? Talk to Bud Light. All right? Talk to the Acolyte. That rhyme they play the game. Bars. All right? It's woke fatigue. Take it all out, you'll make your money back. You'll start making money.
And this brings up the dreaded superhero fatigue, which is a bit of a chicken or the egg argument. Will people still be drawn to a superhero TV show or movie that's well made? Yes. Are too many poorly made superhero TV shows and films going to hurt Hollywood's bottom line as a market driver? Yes. Between 2015 and 2019, 25 out of the 30 superhero titles, 83%, took in more than $500 million worldwide. After the pandemic, the dynamic has flipped on its head. Since 2022, 10 of the 17 superhero titles, 59%, have made less than $500 million. And the rest of the article is essentially going over the things that we've mentioned here on this channel for years. DC is essentially rebooting for the third time in a decade. Sony making Spider-Man movies without Spider-Man is stupid. And Marvel is oversaturated with crap. Sony's two films this year, Madam Web and Venom, were at least unintentionally hilarious. DC's had 6 flops in a row going back to last year. And after multiple underperforming TV shows and films and outright flops, Marvel finally got a hit with Deadpool and Wolverine. And their upcoming...
I heard they were supposed to be working on a Captain Marvel 3. Flop incoming!
Slate 2025 outside of Daredevil looks at best highly
That's pure
questionable
insanity
and
to
at
me.
worst abysmal. And it looks like the future of the superhero film hinges on 2 films that release in July of 2025, Superman and the Fantastic Four. There are no slam dunks here, says exhibitor relations analyst Jeff Bach. There's still a lot of goodwill for Marvel. Is there? It's the biggest show in town, but to think that these are going to do Deadpool and Wolverine business, I don't see any of that for these films. No, I don't think a Captain America sequel without...
I saw a little collage of the Young Avengers. I have no want to see it at all. Like, it's getting to the... There is going to be a point where you're going to be like, oh, he didn't even review this Marvel movie for us. He didn't do it. Wow, that's how far gone. But I'm not there yet, but it's getting there.
Captain America,
but I'm hoping there's a turnaround.
Without any of the original Thunderbolts from the comics,
don't even want to see that.
Get close to Deadpool and Wolverine. I will give credit to DC and Disney Marvel. At least they're trying to change. That being said, I'm far more hopeful for a James Gunn Superman over a Pedro Pascal, Reed Richards, and a female Silver Surfer. Hollywood loves and hates the superhero film, but much to their chagrin.
Shoot, the Fantastic Four actually might do better than the James Gunn Superman. I don't know, man. I really don't know I don't know how to call it, man, because God, that suit is terrible. If the suit is any indication of how good the movie's going to be, then it's over. It's over and done. However, you know, sometimes things, you know, work out. Like I remember when they first showed us Joaquin Phoenix in the Joker makeup, and I was like, I didn't like it at all. People was all mad at me. Whatever. They all got banned for running their mouths. It's just a movie. But they over the next few days, like I was looking at it, and I was like, you know what? It's kind of growing on me a little bit. I didn't know what to expect of the movie when I saw it. It was a damn masterpiece. So, but the only difference between these two is that the suit did not grow on me. So I'm waiting to see if it's going to be good. You know what I mean? I hope it is, but something that baggy and stupid looking, I can't see CGI or special effects making it look better.
It's not going anywhere because they don't have anything else. Still, Warner Brothers and Disney remain steadfastly committed to their respective DC and Marvel slates well into the decade, and that doesn't look like it will change anytime soon. There still isn't anything to replace superheroes at the box office in terms of films with the potential to make the amount of money. Box says, until we see some genre take over, they're going to continue to invest in it. Nothing says innovation like waiting around for something to happen. The funniest bit, though, is this article from Variety was preceded by this article just 3 weeks prior. Toxic fandom, how Hollywood is battling fans who are just out for blood, from social media boot camps to super fan focus groups. To anyone who makes decisions in Hollywood who may come...
Fans aren't out for blood, they're out for good entertainment. Make entertainment great again. Mega and MAGA running together. Parallel. Make America great again. And make entertainment great again.
Across this video, if you're wondering what led to superhero fatigue, which is better described as Hollywood fatigue, and that death by 1,000 paper cuts, which includes one gaping mortal wound, the problem has been, and always will be, you. Hell, you guys just put out a movie, Joker 2, that literally told the audience to fuck off. And they did. And they felt like you've been saying that for quite some time.
You have been.
And instead of possibly listening to your paying customer, you decided to make him and her the enemy. To paraphrase a quote from my good friend Chris Gore, demonizing fandom will turn out to be the costliest mistake in Hollywood history. And you will have to ask yourself collectively as an industry.
They're finding out right now.
A few people in their spare...
By the way, I had someone write me from... happened to run into this email. Listen, guys, never, ever, ever, ever write me at TyroneMagnusMedia@gmail.com. That's all business. But you can write me at TyroneMagnusFanmail@gmail.com. If you write me at my business, you get blocked and you become spam, okay? I need only business to go there. That's how I need that to go. If someone wrote me there, I happened to see it by accident, just going through emails, and I was like, I saw the first couple of words, and they're basically saying that they know people that work in Disney. So take this with a grain of salt. But I kind of scanned through the email, and they said that basically the reason why Snow White's coming out, I think they said, is because, like, really Disney's like broke. Like, they got serious financial problems right now, serious. And they need to put it out, type of thing. They need to. That's what he said. Don't know if it's true or not, but I don't know.
Bedrooms, people posting on Twitter and Facebook and other social media accounts know a lot more than your highly paid market analysts. Now, the industry might not want to hear this, but quite frankly, the best stuff is coming out on streaming, and I think Hollywood could fix most of their problems, save for one. Despite having everything you wanted for the last 4 years, your industry has failed, and it's because you fucked with the money. So how do you reconnect with the audience when they're walking away silently, or worse yet, becoming the competition? And no matter what happens this year, you will be forced to do something that, unfortunately, thanks to your corporate structure, you won't be able to do fast enough. Change. But it's undeniable at this point that Tinseltown is broken up, and Hollywood is fleeing woke Hollywood in droves, and that's a good thing.
Nerdrotic.com. Man, oh man. There it is, folks. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you think on this. If you enjoyed my reaction and thoughts, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. and subscribe to Nerdrotic. Woo!